All right, so tonight is November 12th, Thursday, November 12th, 2020. It's 7:08 p.m. This is the Leadership Committee, Community Board 11. We have a quorum. Yahe Obeid is the chairman of the committee. Yahe, it's you.
All right. Wait, hold on. Do you want me to take minutes for this too?
Are you okay with that, Hazel?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it. That was going to be the first thing I was going to say.
We're going to have to get Hazel a medal.
Make sure
So thank you, Hazel. I was going to start off with that, and that's something we discussed in the previous meeting. So going forward, I spoke with Pat a couple of weeks ago. I'm recommending that all the chairs, when they start their committee meetings, they assign someone to take minutes, just to take the load off of them. That's just a recommendation. It's not in the bylaws or anything. We're not asking all the committees to have a secretary position other than the chair or the co-chair, but just assign someone to take the minutes, take turns. It shouldn't be one person every time. So for this meeting, thank you, Hazel, for bringing that up and for volunteering to take the minutes. Next month, we'll rotate it so it's not you for doing it for every leadership committee meeting. Anything on that from anybody, or does anyone want to say anything on that?
Yeah, in individual committees, if there's a person that wants to do it, what's the difference? Whether that same person does it always.
Oh, that's fine. It's just, I would recommend spreading it out, just taking turns. If the same person wants to do it all the time, that's fine. But I think it benefits everybody if everybody takes turns.
And I did suggest that at our Parks Committee meeting, and we didn't get a chance to vote on it because we didn't have enough of the committee in order to to be able to spread it out. But we did table it, and we'll come back to it in January. But once we do that, we will have minutes, but we do want to record it and as well as make sure that it's written out.
Yeah, and I don't think you have to vote on it. At the beginning of the meeting, just ask, would anybody like to take minutes? And if nobody agrees, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Al or someone else, can the chair assign it to someone?
Well, I didn't want to do that. I just wanted to, because I know some people are shy, some people don't want to do it, but I feel if it's rotated that more people will get stronger at doing it and it won't fall on just one person.
Yeah, I agree. But I think next time, if you don't get any volunteers, just assign someone to do it.
I'm going to do that.
Okay, everybody hear that? Okay.
Can I ask something?
Go ahead, Frano.
Okay, in the past, since we record these meetings, if nobody wants to do the minutes, I believe it was assigned to Harriet or Lasky. Am I wrong, Jeremy?
Say again?
That's the general board. That's the general board or committee meetings?
Even committee meetings.
Usually when the committees or in the past, when the secretary of the board failed to live up to any type of responsibility, yeah, we try to pick up the slack.
Yeah, honestly, I don't think we should leave it to Harriet because Harriet might be doing other things. The committee needs to take responsibility for their work. We are getting a lot of FOIL requests for the minutes. We need them to come back in a timely fashion because they have to be posted within 2 weeks. And I think a week is appropriate. That would give the office about another week to make any edits and to upload them to the website.
Okay, then I'll do that. I have to get on that.
Well,
yeah, I feel that it should be the responsibility of every committee to do their own minutes. I don't see why Harriet should have to do everybody's minutes and in addition to all the work that she has to do for the office. I mean, we're adults. And, you know, like, I do my minutes. I have my own shorthand. I write them out for her and I send them to her. And, you know, I feel that that's my responsibility as co-chair of my committee. And I think that every committee should take up the responsibility of doing their own minutes.
I agree.
agree.
When I do the minutes for economic development, I take them at the meeting and I shorthand them and then I format it and send it properly to the office, and all they have to do is just post it.
Well, anyway, I have no problem because I'm lucky enough to have a person that likes to do it and does it on a regular basis. So it doesn't matter with me.
Good for you. Mhm.
Okay, so, well, we'll move on. We'll go to item number 1 on the agenda, which is the October leadership meeting minutes. It was my fault. I did not prepare the minutes. I did not take notes. I guess it was my first time last month, and I was nervous. I usually take notes in my other committee meetings, but this one was a little different. So I didn't take the minutes. I captured as much as I can, and I sent them to Jeremy prior to this meeting. So it's going to be a little bit before we get the minutes to even vote on them, because we should be voting on them this month. So I know someone raised the issue that every committee meeting, the number 1 item should be reviewing last committee's meeting. But when we have to do them within 2 weeks, we post them and then we review them after we've posted them. So then we'd have to go to the website and then make edits. So our hands are kind of tied. So basically the minutes have to be close to perfect, if not perfect. I don't know if all that makes sense. So I apologize again. We don't have the meeting minutes to vote on them today, but Jeremy, when you have a chance, can you send them to everybody? At least we'll have a record of them.
Yeah, I didn't get your email, but so just double check that it actually went through. I know sometimes
Okay.
board members, they forgot the attachment or anything like that. It could be sent as a draft. Yeah, and also I was gonna, and I talked to Yahya about having one of our interns help us do the minutes, but the recording was terrible. So that
Mhm.
we want to make sure we get good recordings.
Yes.
So
The hard part of doing minutes from a recording, and I know Harriet went through it, is the fact that you weren't there, so you don't know what the nuances were and what was meant by certain things that were said. Somebody who's doing the minutes that's at the meeting can cut right to the quick and get the word verbiage across without too much fluff. So you can cut right to the bullets and boom, 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 rather than Harry would have to listen to the whole tape and try to decipher what was being said, especially when people were talking over each other. So this makes it a lot easier.
Yep.
Mhm.
So
All right.
yeah. So even though we publish them online, we can always change them if there's all the time I catch errors. I caught an error for the ethics committee agenda that said it was on a Monday meeting when it was a Tuesday. So I do correct those things when I catch them.
Yeah, I don't know why Tuesdays feel like Mondays to me, but I feel like every day's a Monday, except Friday.
Yeah, nowadays.
So, all right. Thank you all for your input. We'll go to item number 2, which is conduct at public meetings statement. That statement that we went over and we made some corrections. We got some good feedback from Ken and Jeremy. I think we came out with it. We did not discuss it at last month's general meeting because we were just so backed up. We thought we would table it to this month.
Mhm.
So I don't know what we can do with it since we already discussed it. Jeremy, do you want to pull it up just to get everybody's?
So
Did we vote on it last time, or I don't
yeah,
remember?
we voted on it last month and then we tabled it at the full board meeting. And then I know I sent you my proposed edits. I don't know if anybody else touched it after that. Do you remember?
I don't think so.
I can share it. I mean, I got the track changes. That's what I have right now. So I don't know if that's large enough for everybody. Is that good?
It's fine.
So the original is not in red. The red is my proposals. We did get a member of the public more or less suggesting this, but even though I made these changes basically a month ago, or suggestions a month ago. I mean, I can make all the track changes so that just disappears if you want, if that's easier for everybody to view. It's up to you guys.
Jeremy, you're breaking up.
Hold on, I gotta stop sharing my camera.
Yeah, Jeremy, I think we're good with that. If you can email it, I think the issue was not enough board members last month had a copy of it. Can you email everybody the final copy?
Yep. Okay. Let me just accept them.
Yeah, and in the email, tell them to review it so we don't take too much time on next Thursday. So everybody would have read it, wrote down some things that they think about it or any edits, so we can just go ahead and vote on it.
So
Okay.
one
And
thing I
did-
want to, if you don't mind, Yahe, one thing I think worth bringing up is, so originally it was electioneering and solicitations. So I had a conversation with Kenny following the leadership meeting and last full board meeting. And so he was concerned that the solicitations thing would turn off a not-for-profit from coming to us. When historically, we've never allowed businesses to promote regular like sales, we've never allowed businesses to come and speak in our gallery sessions, unless it's like they were doing a free event, unless it was something unique. But that's something we should consider adding back in there, because if we don't have that in there and then we stop people at our full board meeting and they're going to say why, it might be a problem.
Yeah, and that's why that word was taken out. So I think it's fine the way it is now.
It's up to you. I mean, we still aren't prohibiting. So basically, I mean, I don't look, maybe we won't have a problem. Maybe businesses won't come to us because they historically haven't, because we shut them down. But
yeah, I say leave it alone. Well, once we have that issue, then we're trying to address one issue, and that one is not priority on this list. So
yeah, okay. So I'll email it to the entire board as is.
all right, thank you, Jeremy.
And then you want to go to next.
Yeah, if no one has anything else on this, we'll go to item number 3, which is the draft November full board agenda. Jeremy, if you can pull that up.
Can you view it?
I don't. I'm using my phone, unfortunately.
Right now, I see the original one that you just posted a few minutes ago.
Hold on, let me pull it back up. How about that?
Yep.
Okay.
So, chairman's, treasurers, secretaries. I just emailed out the full board minutes from October, so you get a chance to look at and make sure there are no errors. So I don't know. This is a motion that was voted on at October. So do you want to keep it like that? Yeah, hey, motion to publish after I send it out, email it out.
Yes.
Okay. Any motions currently? You know, we may have a motion from public safety, community development, or ethics because they're meeting next week. But that aside, I don't think the other committees had any motions. Am I wrong about that?
No, transportation did not.
Okay. And housing, I don't believe, or
I invited a guest speaker. Jeremy, I invited a guest speaker,
Sean?
the same person that came, to my committee meeting.
Okay.
So, because I think it's important that he make a presentation for the full board.
So I'll reach
So-
out to him about speaking in the gallery. Because right now we only have Ms. Delgado.
Jesus.
Okay, he might need more than 2 minutes though, because, I
Well,
think,
I don't think we,
can I finish?
yeah, sorry.
Okay, I think it's very important that the community understands exactly what the program is, and, because it is coming into our community. So I don't know if he can do that in 2 minutes. And people are gonna have a lot of questions because questions were brought up at the committee meeting. So that's why I had invited him as a guest speaker.
The guest speaker could come to your committee, but full board, we usually don't have guest speakers at a full board meeting. The way we can get around it is when they make their presentations for 2 minutes, if you ask a question that's appropriate for them to continue, then they continue explaining to you and finish off their, their presentation. But if, guest speakers usually come to committee meetings and not to a full board meeting.
Okay, well, because of the nature of the program, I thought he should make a presentation to the board. But it's okay. I can have questions ready for him.
What we've done previously, the person goes for 2 minutes, then they're stopped. And then, does anyone have any questions? And then someone, I've seen it where a board member says, yes, I have a question. Can you finish saying what you needed to say? And then they can probably go on for another 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah, we're not going to have a problem getting questions from Edith Blitzer or maybe Andrea. I don't know if you'd have questions. Or Sandra Unger. I know she'll have questions about this place. I mean, this already came up at a Parks meeting, just from what I know. So, and historically, Hazel, if there are enough questions, the board may vote to waive the time limit or the rules and have more than four questions or comments. That's what
Okay.
usually happens.
Okay, that's fine.
Jeremy, excuse me. I have no idea what Hazel is talking about.
So can you see my screen?
No.
So Sean Coleman, who's an organization from Destination Tomorrow at 2134 Barnes. This is
Okay, I know what's going there. Okay.
Yeah, this is the new program.
I know what's coming in there. Thank you.
Yep. Okay. And it's in the minutes of Hazel's meeting. I did send them to the city. I don't know if you had any corrections, Hazel, but I will put that. I'll have Chris put that on the website tomorrow, and then I'll reach out to Sean.
Okay, thank you.
I do not have confirmations yet from elected officials. Mark Jonai is maybe coming himself, maybe not. I don't think anybody's really confirmed yet. So that's really it for the full board agenda. Unless I'm missing something.
Should we put attendance in there to talk about attendance?
Yeah, under your report, Al, because
That would be fine.
because that is handled by the executive board.
Yep, and can we put the second vice chair position on there?
Yeah. Which one first, Al?
It does, second vice chair first.
And lastly, I think one more thing. I'm giving Al a lot of things on this agenda. And Al, do you want to talk about minutes? And so I know we have the leadership, committee here, but it's nice for the entire board to know that they can expect to be assigned to take minutes if no one volunteers.
Yeah, I could bring it up, or you can, on the leadership because of the fact that it was brought up to the leadership committee.
Okay,
Either
yeah,
way,
Jeremy,
I
if
don't
you
want
want to
to
hold it,
step on your toes.
it doesn't matter.
Which one? Which one?
Uh,
Up to you.
you can move it to leadership, that's fine.
So 4-9, do we want to try to get the 4-9 at the meeting, or should I not bother?
Jeremy, they missed it now for a while. Why can't they could send somebody in the captain's place? Because crime is up all over. We should be able to ask what's going on.
I'll ask.
Yeah, I agree with Fran. We really need to have them there. We just had a homicide on Barnes Avenue, right around the corner from my new office.
And Jeremy, no one comes from the governor's office, right?
I no comment.
I mean, he's writing all these executive orders. He should have a representative to hear from us to get some feedback on his executive orders. I know
Yeah.
he's king of New York, but at least send us someone that we can, give feedback to.
Yeah, I mean, I can try, but
Yeah, I know his Bronx representative, Sophia. I went back and forth with her last week regarding the executive order on the travel that went into effect, I think, November 4th. But she was confused and she gave me wrong information. So
yeah, that's my contact too.
I don't know which one's worse, no information or wrong information. But anyway.
Yeah. So
I agree with Yahe. We need to let King Cuomo II know that the communities are concerned with his edicts.
well, I'll push our state electeds to push them. I mean, Natalia used to be the governor's rep for our borough, so she should be able to swing that.
That's true.
So,
Okay. Do we need to vote on that agenda or no?
so let's just run it down again real quick. Run down it real quick. Just make sure everybody's on. Joe Thompson joined us too. I'm not sure at what point he joined us. So a moment of silence. 4-9 precinct. Chairman's report. The new bylaw proposal. I'll reword that how I've worded past bylaw proposals. Attendance. Treasurer's report. Secretary's report. October minutes, which I emailed out. My report. Committee reports. Leadership motion to publish the conduct meeting statement that was voted on in October, but was tabled. Minutes. I don't know if you want more than that. If minutes is a good enough reminder for you, Yahe. Community development, ethics, housing. We covered for the gallery, parks, public safety, transportation. So we have Mr. Delgado, Sean Coleman. I'm going to reach out to you tomorrow. Maybe Jonah and the rest of the electeds, not sure. And old business, new business.
Is there a calendar for January?
Yeah, well, that's the agenda first. So everybody okay with the agenda? It's going to be Office Suite again, this platform. I know it doesn't work for everybody, but it seems to work for more people than WebEx.
Yeah, it's fine, Jeremy. The only thing I would do, I would send a reminder out to the entire board, or the chair people anyway, to keep their comments brief. And if they hand in their minutes, have people read the minutes and not have to read them out themselves. So hopefully we'll get out before 11 o'clock.
So maybe I can tack that under you, Yahe, minutes and committee reports? Or
Okay.
yes, no? Or do you want to put it?
There shouldn't be a reason why we go beyond 2 hours. It's unforgiven.
Yeah, well, especially now that I think we're past a lot of technological hurdles, hopefully. We'll see.
Yeah, and Jeremy, can you please ask all the board members, send them a separate email if anyone has any issues with that, let me know. But can you send everyone an email asking them to be on by 6:45? So
Right.
but we start at 7 o'clock or 7:05 versus going 20 minutes into it, looking on who's in and who's not.
Okay, all the board members by 6:45.
Any issues with that from this committee with that
No.
request?
No,
Very reasonable.
So
All
that,
right.
so that
Yeah,
handles,
'cause it shouldn't be 7:10. We're trying to figure out if we have a quorum or not. It shouldn't be happening.
okay.
All right. Next is the draft December and January meetings calendar. So, Jeremy, who else got that email from Ken? Was it from Ken regarding the December general meeting?
What email?
There was an email requesting that we meet in December.
I didn't see that.
I thought you were included in it. So I got an email saying that all the boards citywide meet in December except ours,
No, that's not
and
true.
that we should meet in December.
So to clarify, the city charter gives us a break in July and August. So technically, yeah, officially we should be meeting in December. I know Board 10 also does not meet in December. I'm not sure about the other boards. Historically, we used to not meet in January. That was partially because of our chairman at the time, but it was also, I've learned, is that January can be a really hard month. And we've actually had to cancel meetings because of the weather. But that aside, yeah, I mean, it's really up to you. It's really up to.
We met well, we didn't meet in December because we had the Christmas party instead. In lieu of our meeting, we usually had a gathering at a restaurant.
Al, correction, holiday party.
I'm sorry, you're right, holiday party.
Yeah, but it's entirely
Well,
up to the board.
You know what? It was sent to Durrell for the equity committee to look into it. So it was from David Levitt. He said the Community Board 11 has not met in December since 2012. I believe not meeting in December disfranchises the entire community. The city charter mandates that we meet every month except July and August. And that's what he's saying. He's also copying me. So I don't know. Is it something that we want to put? Can we put it on the agenda?
I'm sorry, who sent that email?
David Levitt?
Well, yeah, hey, in reality, we did have a December meeting. It was the holiday party was marked the December meeting. So on the calendar, the December meeting was the holiday party.
But it's
Yeah,
not.
but I don't know how official that was.
Yeah, it's not open to the public, right?
No,
There's no reason not to have a December meeting if we're not having a holiday get-together.
I mean,
Yeah,
it could be short and sweet.
We'll leave that up to the board.
Yeah, can you put it on the calendar? So, I'm sorry, not on the calendar. We might have to go back to the agenda. Can you place that on the agenda, please?
Well, does anybody want to make a motion? That's I guess the real question. Because so there's two things that should happen. If we have a full board meeting in December, we should also have a leadership meeting in December to make sure, like what we do now, go over the agenda and then go over for the calendar for January. No?
Yeah, let's do it. I think, committees are one thing if they want to take December off. But if we're mandated to meet 10 times, with the exception of July and August, let's just meet the 10 times. And maybe because we have a lot to cover and we've already tabled one thing from last month, let's just spread some stuff out. It could be an easy, quick 1 hour meeting. So I'm for it. So I'll call for a motion to add a general meeting for December. Anyone to second it?
I'll second it.
Okay, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. Aye.
Yeah, so
Aye.
far that's good. Anyone against it? Any abstentions? All right, so that passes unanimously. So we'll carry that over under Leadership Committee, Jeremy, for next week.
And you know what? Legally, you may not have to vote on that at the full board. I mean, I think the chairman can call a full board meeting anytime. It's up to you.
Yeah.
It's up to you, though. If you want to put it on the agenda, put it on the agenda. Thank you.
Just put it on the agenda so we don't forget, so everybody's not shocked when we have a December meeting. How about that?
That's perfect.
So,
Yeah, I think you would just do it as a statement that we will be having a December meeting this year. That's all.
Okay. Good input, Jeremy. Thank you for that. All right. I think that's, you want to pull up the calendar, Jeremy?
Hold on. So Al just said about making it a statement versus a motion to vote on.
Yeah.
So do you want me to do it that way instead?
Yeah, just put it under, Al, are you okay under your report, if you can mention it?
That's fine.
Okay.
Okay. So I will put the second vice proposal first, and then the December meeting, and then the attendance? That order, Al?
That's fine, Jeremy.
Okay. Okay, so let me save that. Bring up the calendar. So then we'll just go over the December calendar versus January. I mean, we should have a December leadership meeting too, right?
Yes.
So let me see. This is old. I gotta go to this one. Sorry. So the only things, so I'll just add it after we get done with the meeting. So right now, equity is going to meet on the 9th. Task force, I'm going to have my DSC on the 10th. And then, the problem, I don't think we should meet on the 24th. Or
No,
the
no.
31st.
I was going to suggest something. If everybody's okay with it, go back up a little. Actually, maybe I'm zoomed in. Can you zoom out a little bit, Jeremy?
I can try. Yeah, I should be able to. Yeah. Is that better?
Yeah, that's much better. Okay, so
How's
is
the
everybody,
17?
can we meet on the 10th for leadership and then meet on the 17th for the general meeting?
Do you want an executive board meeting too, Al? Or do you just want leadership?
Just do leadership. There's nothing, unless I have something comes up. If I have something that comes up, we'll call it. But right now, I don't foresee anything coming up for leadership, for executive board.
Yeah, we could do attendance, but if we can wait till January, that'd probably be better. Unless you want to do it. No.
But
So
the,
Jeremy, now that we do in December, shouldn't each committee now be informed? Well, we are here technically to at least put a tentative something in the calendar for our committees?
Don't put anything tentative unless you know you have an agenda. That's because, unfortunately, some committees, they play this game where we schedule it, then we take it down, and it's just a waste of our time. So unless you know you have an agenda and you need or want to have a meeting, fine. Equity's having a meeting. Leadership, we know we're going to discuss the full board agenda.
Okay, because based on one of the emails from my meeting that was sent out yesterday, I might need to have a meeting on the 7th based on any responses, which we should be getting some responses. That's on the request that was made by one of the community people.
It's up to you, Fran. If you know you're going to have agenda items, fine. But if you're not
Well-
sure yet, I would hold off.
Okay,
So you want to hold off or you want to schedule?
hold it off and I guess you guys gonna let me know as soon as possible whether there's a response or not, right?
I mean, as soon as we can. Yeah.
Jeremy?
You can't hear me? Oh, on this screen share thing.
Based on, I'm saying you let me know as soon as,
I think Frano's, you might be cutting out your audio. Everybody else hear Frano and me fine?
Yeah.
Yeah, Frano, we'll get up. We'll follow up.
okay, thank you.
All right, so let me share the screen one more time. So, equity on the 9th, leadership at 7 p.m. on the 10th. That's a Thursday. Full board the following week, the 17th. And go from there.
Um,
Okay.
may I speak for a moment?
Yeah, Pat.
Okay, well, this weekend, the Parks Committee is going to, do some venturing out to check some of the parks. And that's the only thing that we would probably have on the agenda, if we were going to give a report of what we've done, for this month. Well, maybe the next 2 weeks, 2 Saturdays.
So you
So
want to
I
have a
don't
meeting, or you're not sure?
Ooh, I'm not sure. I'm going to reach out to the Parks Committee and find out, because we did decide to go this Saturday and maybe next Saturday to several parks to check the conditions. So we'll have that to report for December if we're going to do anything.
Okay, so you'll get back to me.
But
Yeah,
I'll get back to you.
you can always call in the office and just put it on the agenda, that's all.
Okay, honey, thank you.
And then,
Okay.
and then I might not be in the office for the next 2 weeks, just so everybody's aware. But Harriet and Chris will be there. So, but you can call my cell if you need me. I don't know if everybody heard me.
No, you were cut off.
Yeah, I don't. Whenever I share the screen, for some reason, it does that. So I might be out of the office for the next 2 weeks, but I will be working from home unless, I could use some time off, but maybe after the full board meeting, because there's a lot to do until then.
I was trying to say, keep in mind, if you're gonna add a meeting, that you give a 72-hour notice so that meeting is published for the public to have access to the meeting.
Yeah, in
Good
reality,
point,
we need
Bruno.
3 business days.
Oh, no, that's 72 hours.
Well, but if we have a weekend, that doesn't count, So
Okay,
that's why it can be more than 3 days.
all right. So keep that in mind.
Yeah, just because of our inability to publish directly to our website currently, it's really difficult, or it can be really difficult, relying on the city to do it for you. So that's the December calendar. We will handle the January calendar in December, right? Yeah.
Sounds good.
Then we were on old business, new business, public comment.
So we're not discussing second vice chair in this committee in attendance, right, Al? Because we pushed it onto this, but we're just going to discuss it at the full board.
Yes.
Okay. So meeting in person versus meeting online for the leadership committee. We met in person last month. We got some feedback from folks. So I'm assuming everybody prefers, does anyone prefer to meet in person? I'll ask it this way.
I don't mind doing it in person, but I'm going to go with what the majority of the board is asking.
I don't mind meeting in person either.
Yeah, neither do I, but I'll I'll bow to the majorities, and I believe the majority, safety first, so.
Yeah, same for me.
This Joanne, I don't mind, but I have to speak to Tony to find out if it's okay with him.
And I feel the same. I don't mind. But keep in mind all these changes that we mentioned earlier, with the governor making all these changes constantly. So maybe we should just continue like this.
Okay. Well, so we have basically 7 people that don't mind meeting in person or prefer meeting in person. But good point by Frano. We don't know what King Cuomo II is going to bring down on us. So as we continue to go into the unknown, I guess we'll just continue remote meetings. Any issues with that? Any input?
And then, yeah, hey, I think I told you earlier. So we have to, if you do meet in person, always have a contingency, because the reason I'm probably not going to the office next 2 weeks because I'll probably be in quarantine.
Okay.
So that's something to keep in mind if you meet in person. We always have to have contingencies, because it could be board members too, and not just me.
Okay. So that was something I brought up from old business. Any other old business? Oh, I wanted to bring something up. For committee meetings, we don't need to call for a motion to adjourn. It's only for a general meeting. I think David Levitt told me that. It might be in the bylaws somewhere. I didn't check it exactly, but I think that holds true. So just going forward, I think I'll double check it and send everybody the reference if everybody wants the reference. But usually David Levitt is pretty spot on with the bylaws.
Okay.
Okay. So is there any, that's old business then, or new business?
Yeah. Any new business? Anyone from the public would like to say anything? We'll open it up for the public speaking portion.
Yeah, hey, the problem is at this type of a meeting, the public is not supposed to speak. This is only for the officers and the committee chairs. This is what's known as your leadership or executive board meeting. And while the public can watch, they're not supposed to speak at this meeting, just to let you know.
Okay.
He's absolutely correct, Yahe.
I would disagree with Bob, although I would like him to be right. It is a public body, and we do have to allow for public input, even though other, maybe historically we didn't, or other boards don't.
Jeremy, I go along with Bob.
Yeah, I would like to, but somebody else will probably complain, and maybe legitimately.
The public has spoken, so I think we can move on.
Yeah, all right. Thanks, Bob.
Jeremy, we did this on Community Board 8. And
No, I understand. Community Board 8 does things a little differently than a lot of boards, though, too.
okay, thank you. Good night.
Thanks, Bob.
All right. Anything else from anybody?
All right,
Thank you, Hazel, for volunteering to do the minutes. Thank you, everybody, for your time and for signing in. We'll talk to everybody next Thursday.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Have a good night.
Have a good night.
Thanks for filling in for Tony, Joanne.
You're
Thanks,
welcome.
guys.
Good night, guys.
Yep.
Night.
Good night, Hazel.